Right, we are now live, ladies and gents, for GRS. I don't know why my keybind didn't work there, but we are now live. GRS. There we go. Nice and good there. We are into qualifying. I am midway through eating my dinner, which is not ideal. I could have done this, but I could have, what's the word? Scheduled this better. But we'll carry on. What on earth is that username? Alright, hang on. I'm gonna get this bloke's name down on Discord, because I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that today. F3 attendance Mercedes. Brilliant. It's Lasse Rasmussen. That's good to know. The first one out is an Alpine. Oh, I just need to turn my wheel off. That'd be a good start. So we're not looking constantly right. But yeah, we are here today for some more action, and I'm sure this is going to be some very spicy Singaporean action here on the streets of the beautiful city in Oceanic Asia. And it will be Conor Ahern to get us going, and he's gone wide. That's a good start, and all the pressure is on Conor to do a good lap here, and on the Alpine driver. Alpine not exactly doing good this week. Obviously F2's never really a good point scoring tier for them. Having said that, they did actually do alright in F2 with Stuart Bradbury. And then in F1, Stuart got 8th, and I DNF'd because of an absolute war crime from a certain Thomas Underhill. And yeah, so not going well for Alpine this week, as it turns out. But that might just be me saying it because it's not going well for me this week. And so yeah, they need to bounce back here in F3, and over the next couple rounds. Mystery GP obviously next week, and Qatar there'll be a setback in Qatar for them as well, because I will not be racing, and I don't think many people will be racing because it's near Christmas and people are doing things around Christmas. So could be a rough next couple of weeks for the Alpine team. But Conor Ahern is going to try and get started on getting some good points for the Enstone Pace team. Obviously controlled by Jack Cocaine, the team principal, and as he goes down Raffles Boulevard to get this first sector going, and obviously he's not even set purple sector 1, and he's the only person who set a sector. So the F1 game really does not like him at the moment. But as he goes through that little middle sector there, and now down into the Singapore Sling, or what was the Singapore Sling. Now it's just a real nothing left-hander, which takes you onto the Anderson Bridge and down into the hairpin, which ends the Anderson Bridge. Looked very drifty as he went through there, but it looked pretty good through the actual hairpin itself. Now down towards this little 90-degree bend in the road, more like 110 degrees, but near enough. They all feel the same. And now down and towards the final chicane, using that DRS. Bit low on ERS for Conor Ahern as he goes around the final chicane. Bit pedestrian through there, but he'll finish the lap. And what will the banker be for Conor Ahern? It's a 31.3. Just for a bit of context, pole in F1 the other day, or pole in F1 yesterday was a 28.3 as far as I'm aware, set by yours truly. And slow but furious in the Red Bull sets a 29.5, so clearly not that slow, and maybe he's quite calm. And Jake Bamford beats that by 4/10 in the Sauber. Obviously a bit of a Dodgems type race for Jake in the last round in Canada, but what can you do? It's a street circuit, and I imagine there's going to be things like it today as well. So Corey, the next one to cross the line. That'd be P4 for the McLaren driver. Crosses the line and with a 29.9, and then Novaliska beats him out by the best part of 0.7 of a second, and then Aru goes into P1 with a 28.7. That's a great lap for the Mercedes driver. That's 0.4 off. That's already on a bank of 0.4 off F1 times. Yes, F1 was set in slightly damp conditions, so I'm clutching at straws here, but still a great lap from the Mercedes. So, anyone crossing the line? Well, an Alpine. That would be Conor Ahern, so I doubt he's doing anything at the moment. Mitch will be coming into the box. Jack on an outlap. Lowry not on a lap, so I doubt anyone's improving. No. So we will turn our attention to a certain Jack Cocaine, because he will be the next one to set a lap. Quite late out in this qualifying session. Bit of a weird run plan for the Alpine driver, but I assume he'll get 2 laps in. I doubt he'll get 3 with how late he's gone out here. But having said that, he might. I reckon he'll be about, what, 7 minutes to go by the time he gets back in to the pit lane, so he might have enough time for 3 laps. And yeah, we'll stay on board with Jack for this lap, unless anyone is improving. No, he's in, and well, Jake's on a lap, so we'll have a look at Jake Armstrong's lap in the Red Bull as he goes around the hairpin that really starts off that middle sector, and now down into the left-hander here. I don't know corner names around here because realistically, who does? And now into, I think this is turn 8, the Singapore sling. And now down into the Anderson Bridge section. Obviously very, very pretty there as he goes into the hairpin. A little bit wide in the hairpin that takes him onto the DRS. DRS wide open for the Red Bull. Look at that camera angle. That's a great camera angle showing the Red Bull there. And down into turn 12, I believe this is. And now round there. You want to be careful with that little white line on the exit there. It does invalidate your lap if you go over it. And now down towards the chicane. And through that chicane, nice and tucked in there. And for the Red Bull, but he's not going to finish that lap. So he was improving, I think. But obviously not improving enough to think he had time in him. But so we'll go back to Jack Cocaine in the Alpine, going through the Singapore sling. And now down into the Anderson Bridge, that little right awkward corner that takes you on to the bridge section. Very awkward section of track this, but it gains you a lot of time if you can nail the lap, and Jack has absolutely nailed that turn in. This could be a quality lap for the Alpine driver. It could not. My eyes could be deceiving me. Now down, oh, that's a bit wide into turn 12 there. And now as we go down the final DRS straight, that ends the last sector and into the final chicane. He goes a little bit wide on the apex, but that won't hurt him too much as he goes through the chicane. Now into the final corner. Should be just a lift, and he gets it through there. Nice, good line through there. Now he gets him up to P9. That last sector looked very, very good. But maybe had a little bit of a bad first sector for the Alpine driver. But I think, yeah, we'll keep an eye on Stephen Trodden, because I think he is on a lap. Is the Haas driver, and we'll see what he's up to. Very, very wide through there, so I doubt this might be I don't think this will be setting the timing screens alight here. And now down towards the chicane. Oh, nice and hooked up on the apex of the chicane. So this could be one to watch for the midfield. Yeah, but that's a bit slow through the final corner. But to the line he goes there, P9, so it's decent for the Haas driver. And oh, Ross Turner, purple sector 2. This is one to watch for that top position there as we go down towards the final chicane. Oh, there's an apex there somewhere. And now down towards the final corner. That will have lost in time. So can he gain that time in the final corner? Flat out through the final corner for the Aston Martin. It's up to P4. I doubt there is definitely time in that lap time. But, Rasmussen gets all out of kilter there. Around the corner. And I think we've got that's an Alpine. Maybe just letting people go, yeah. So, no need for alarm with that yellow flag. But the Mercedes of Lasse Rasmussen going around the Anderson Bridge section and onto the DRS straight. Ooh, bit of oversteer there. This car does not look planted at the moment for the Mercedes driver, but he is purple sector 2. We'll see if the game is lying to us there. But we'll go round into the final chicane here. Ooh, very, very oversteering for the Mercedes. Yeah, that car does not look planted in the slightest for him there. As he goes around, it looks planted in the high-speed stuff, but he gets to a low-speed corner and it's just all over the place for him. But yes, not good for Lasse Rasmussen. And I think the first one to cross the line will be Slow but Furious in the Red Bull. I believe that is Robert Jovanovski in that Red Bull car as he goes around the Anderson Bridge hairpin, now down towards this 90-degree right-hander. Oh, there's a car there in the runoff. It's his teammate there. That would be Jake Armstrong doing a bit of a Mahavir Raghunathan down in the runoff there. He's just rejoined the track, so he has got back on track. Nothing too bad for Jake Armstrong there. A little bit of a wall tap, but that will not hurt his chances for Jovanovski. And round the final corner, that's very, very planted for the Red Bull. This could be one to keep an eye on. P4, he lost fuel coming around the final bend, so that is awful. But I think we've got a Williams across the line. Oh no, it'll be Jack Cocaine crossing the line. And then Corey improving. And then the Haas of Novaliska. He'll be starting his lap. So he'll be one to watch. And now we'll turn our attention to Mick Schnape in the Ferrari. He is down on his time, so I doubt he's going to be improving, obviously. So now the Mercedes one to watch. Oh, he almost bins it. Almost bins it going into the chicane there, or going out of the chicane, I should say, and that's definitely a warning for speeding. Who to keep an eye on? Won't be Jovanovski. I think it will be Novaliska in the Haas car. I just need to remind myself of his name. That will be, where's Haas? That will be Kees van Hussein. I've probably butchered that name. I don't do well with foreign names, being English. We'll call him Veen Hussein for the time being. There he is. He is up on a time. Ooh, 2:10s. That would put him in the ballpark for P2. I don't think he'll be any higher than that. Looking at Aru's time, but we shall keep an eye on this lap because it looks quite fast for the Haas, and the car very, very compliant over those bumps. But did he? Yeah, I think, yeah, that's not good for him there. And as he goes around the final corner, Aru, he is the man to watch for this qualifying session, and he improves his 28.6 for Aru, 2/10 off F1 pole time yesterday. Is a promotion to F2 in the books for Aru, or is he just a Singapore merchant? Yeah, it could be either. As Stephen Trodden will be doing his lap, and now Mitch. Yeah, Mitch is on a lap because he's not in ERS. He's not using ERS, so we will keep an eye on Ross Turner because he's about to start his lap, and we'll go on board with him for Ross Turner as he goes into turn 1. This little mini straight, DRS straight, going into turn 1. I'm going to hook up that apex nice and good, nice and lovely, but a little bit off the curb. You can use a little bit more apex, and through turn 3, a little bit reluctant to go in. Now into turn 5, very or really reluctant to go in there, not using any of the curb, which you can use. Now ERS being used down Raffles Boulevard and down into turn 7. And he's got that nice and lovely there. You don't want to use too much of that apex curb because he'll unsettle the car. And likewise for that hairpin. He does use the apex curb. The car seemed to be alright with it. And same again for that corner. It has been a bit of a scruffy lap here for Ross Turner. But we'll see if he can make something of it. Now down into the Anderson Bridge section. And through that little left-hand kink. And now into the hairpin. All very wide through the hairpin. I doubt he'll be improving. And if he is, it's not by much. As he goes down towards, 9/10 down for the Aston Martin. And I think he's just better off just going for the next lap. So we'll look at Connor Ahern, who is about to go into the final chicane. Very, very down on ERS is Connor Ahern. And you'll need that for the small run to the line. And he goes through the chicane, the Alpine, trying to get as much lap time as possible from his tyres and his car. And round the final bend, he improves up to P11 for the Alpine driver. So it is a good lap there for Connor Ahern. And we'll look at Lasse Rasmussen. He's going to start his lap, gets into turn 1. Nice. That is a lovely first sector for Lasse Rasmussen. A bit reluctant to get on power out of turn 3. But he'll be rocketing down towards Raffles Boulevard. Lovely corner there in turn 5, and as he's going to head towards turn 6 and 7. I'm not going to make that joke, don't worry lads. And now down into turn 7, hooks up that apex curb, nice and good. It's a good lap here for Lasse, but this RB is not going to do him any sort of favours. That's not the place to get out of the way. He will have been suffering the dirty air all the way through that middle sector. That is the place on the track you do not want dirty air. As he goes round turn 8, or round the Singapore sling, and it's a scruffy lap. He's hit the wall. That'll be that lap over. This lap is already gone for the Mercedes driver. So that is not what you want to see. Oh, this use this car in front. I don't know who it is, but it is not helping Robert Jovanovski. I think that's Stephen Trodden. I think that's going to be a report there for the Haas driver, because he's just not gone out of his way, and obviously he's not the reason for the mistake, I don't think, but he's probably not helped. So I think that might be a report coming Stephen Trodden's way for from the Red Bull there. Speaking of Red Bull, the other one is on a lap at the moment and heading towards the hairpin, or the 110 degree corner that starts the final sector. And as we go down towards the final chicane, we want to hook up that apex nice and lovely, but not that close to the apex. You can use a little bit more through that corner. And now around the final bend, that is nowhere near quick enough for him, but we'll see what he is. 2/10 up to P11, displaces Connor Ahern in the Red Bull there. Ari's finished his lap, so he cannot improve. Who will be the next one to cross the line? I believe it will be Ross Turner, but he is not on a lap. So Corey will be the next one to show us a lap time for this qualifying session. And as we head down into the final chicane, we'll keep an eye on what his lap time is doing. But he is into the pits. Obviously, not happy with his lap time as Thibaut, winner in the last Grand Prix, towards the line. What's it going to be? P4 for the Williams driver. And now Jack Cocaine up to P6. That's more like it from Jack Cocaine. And yeah, that's more like it for the Red Bull driver, as Lowry's going to come around the final couple of corners for the RB team. And it is last once again for Lowry, having a torrid time of it in F3 this season. Lasse stays where he is in P9 for the Mercedes. There's not many people to cross the line. Jake Bamford will be the next to cross the line. Will he displace Aru? He will. Jake Bamford's on provisional pole. What can Novaliska say anything about it? He cannot. Mitch will be the next one to cross the line. Mitch all very loose coming out the final corner for Mitch. He's up to P9. Jake's not improving, so it'll be Jake Bamford on pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix here in F3. And it's a great result for the Sauber. Obviously, the lone Sauber in this race today. And he's making up for it. Pole position for the Sauber. Aru will be he won't be happy that he did not get that final lap in for the Mercedes. He will think that that's a pole gone a begging there. Novaliska 3/10 back, and then Thibaut in P4 there. Obviously, he might want it a bit more, but Thibaut has shown multiple times this season that it's not all about qualifying for him. Obviously, won the last 2 Grand Prix from. He hasn't won from pole, so at least when I've been watching. So yeah. So yeah, that'll be and then Robert Jovanovski P5, Jack Cocaine in the Alpine P6, Ross Turner in P7, Corey McSweeney in P8 for the McLaren, Mitch Snape in the Ferrari, the lone Ferrari in this race P9, and then Lasse Rasmussen in the Mercedes P10, Jake Armstrong in the Red Bull P11, Conor Ahern 12th in the Alpine, Stephen Trodden 13th in the Haas, and Lowry ends our grid in the RB, 2.4 seconds off pole for the RB driver. A smaller grid than we're expecting in F3, but Singapore, I doubt there'll be a lack of action today. But yeah, that will be your grid for today's Grand Prix. And we'll wait for all arrows left the session. That is not what you want to see. The man on the front row of the grid has been disconnected, and he will not start this Grand Prix. So he'll have to join after lap, or at least the first couple corners, for the Mercedes driver, and that is another bit of bad luck for Aru. He's not had a nice time of it this season. That was quick. We're going to lights out here. And it's go, go, go here in the Singapore streets for the GRS Singapore F3 Grand Prix. And it's Jake Bamford who takes the lead from Novaliska. Aru's AI falling down to P4 there. In the Mercedes, he'll want to join pretty quickly. Robert Jovanovski up into P4. Is there any battling behind Mitch Snape and Corey McSweeney? Battling in towards turn 5. There's a bit of contact with the McLaren and the Ferrari as they go down Raffles Boulevard. Is there any action further forward? No. So we'll keep an eye on the back of the pack there. No one making moves for the moment, obviously, apart from Aru's AI going backwards. Bit of carnage behind, but it's a mostly clean start for this Grand Prix. Conor Ahern and Jake Armstrong fighting. Aru losing more and more positions. This is awful to see for the Mercedes driver. He's all the way down in P10 as we go through the Anderson Bridge. Here's Jake Bamford who leads. Novaliska in P2. Thibaut has lost a lot of time now. He's fallen out of DRS of the cars ahead of him. I don't know what's happened on this lap to make him fall so far behind. Lasse Rasmussen being hounded by Jack Cocaine in the Alpine. Can Jack go for the move here? Down towards the chicane. He's going to size it up. Down towards the final chicane. The Mercedes and the Alpine fighting. They make a little bit of contact. The camera angle's awful, but it's Jack Cocaine around the outside who takes that position from Lasse Rasmussen. Down towards the final corner. McSweeney goes very, very wide, and that's going to help Mitch Snape get past him. He'll say, thank you very much, Corey McSweeney. I will take that position off you, and I will try and get past the Mercedes of Lasse Rasmussen down towards turn 3 there, but he'll wait for that to happen. He'll wait for that to happen as a little bit of, well, I would say battling. It's just Aru losing more positions. It's awful to see for the Mercedes driver, I should say. Now, Robert Jovanovski very, very close to the back of Thibaut here. The Belgian driver, and Robert Jovanovski, I think he's from Poland. So as we go down towards the Singapore sling, he is nose to tail essentially with the Williams driver. Obviously Red Bull in this tier doing very, very well. Oh, a little bit wide for the Red Bull driver there. But he's going to have DRS. I doubt he'll get him on this straight, but maybe down towards the next section, it might be worth going for a move here for the Red Bull driver, because he's just losing more and more time to the top two here. But I doubt he's close enough, and I doubt he's using ERS considering the fact he's not really gaining. Down on 36% ERS, so lower ERS than Thibaut. Oh, and that's Lasset in the wall there. Doubt that damaged his car much, but it's going to allow Mitch to go for the move. But oh my god, Mitch almost in the pit wall there for the Ferrari. That is a massive Code Brown moment for the Ferrari driver. And he'll be thinking twice about taking that corner any quicker like that again in this Grand Prix. As he goes round turn 5. Is Jovanovski close enough to make a move? He's sizing it up, looking for the big send, but Thibaut is wise to that. Corey very close to the back of Mitch Snape, down towards turn 6. As he goes through that section of track, but he's just not close enough. A dirty air in this game, again, affecting drivers' ability to overtake. But that is, I think the closest battle on track is Jovanovski and Thibaut. Thibaut, I believe, Thibaut's not even on the hard, so I don't know why Thibaut's so slow. Does he have front wing damage? Might be a reason why. We can't really see on this helicopter shot. Down towards the hairpin. Does he have damage? He doesn't, so it is just a lack of pace for Thibaut at the moment. I could not tell you why, because he wasn't that far off in qualifying. But down towards the final chicane. Is Robert close enough to go for a move? But Robert goes wide in the chicane. Lowry and Jake Armstrong fighting. That'll be Jake disconnecting from the session. Don't think oh, and that's the Haas of Novaliska. Veen Hussein has hit the barriers somewhere. I think he might have lost it out of the final corner, but that was our P2 man, and he's hit the barriers. So once again, he's had a great qualifying, but something has gone wrong in the race to usurp his chances of winning the Grand Prix. He's going to be falling so far back with that wing damage with everyone aside. It's 3 wide going down onto the Raffles Boulevard with McSweeney, Novaliska and Mitch Snape. As he goes round the outside, does Connor Ahern in the Alpine into P9 he goes. It was Ross Turner looking for the outside move as well. But Mitch keeping that position in P6 for the Ferrari driver. And McSweeney going a bit offline, seeing if there's any way through into the Singapore sling. But nothing doing there. But something has happened to Novaliska. We don't know, well, I don't really know what. I think he might have just lost it on the curb, done a reverse Lance Stroll into out of the final corner, I should say, because he was in the pit wall. But we'll see how that happened later into today. Connor Ahern with a penalty, and he's just getting out of the way. It is Novaliska from his teammate. So yeah, you don't want to see it happen, but it is a bit of action as we go through the final corner with Mitch Snape. And I think this is definitely the point of the Grand Prix where they start to go out a little bit. But Jovanovski's so close to the back of Thibaut. Thibaut is just, he is definitely holding up Robert. And look at that, Jake Bamford with a 5-second gap out in front. I think the only thing that can stop him winning this race today is a safety car, because he is absolutely flying out in front. Is the Sauber. Obviously heartbreak last time out in Canada, so he'll want to put that right and get a bit of retribution for last week. And Jovanovski could fall out of DRS here from Thibaut. But I say that, he's not... Thibaut is, he's quite slow. I mean, he is not using ERS at the moment. Yeah, he's 100% ERS. Is he? Oh no, he has realised that he's not using ERS. So, having said that, he's... And we'll check his ERS down towards this section. Oh, he's only using overtake mode. That would make sense. As Snape just getting in DRS there. I think we'll keep an eye on this leading battle because it's the most likely that something's going to happen here in this leading battle. Maybe the battle between Mitch, Ross, and oh, I say that Jake's crashed. Jake's lost out of the final corner. What's happened to him? He's done what Novaliska did. So our race leader, I said the only thing that could really stop him today was a safety car. But never mind that, it's himself. Because that's a completely unforced error through the final corner. For the Sauber, maybe a little bit of commentator's curse, a very late commentator's curse. But a commentator's curse nonetheless. And it is Thibaut, against all odds, that takes the lead of this Grand Prix. I said it in qualifying. He does not need to have the outright pace to win these races. And I've been proven right. Thibaut takes the lead of the Grand Prix, and it's now a 3-car battle for the lead between Thibaut, Robert Jovanovski, and Jack Cocaine in the Alpine. Jack will be saying, how did I get into this position? Because this is ludicrous here in Singapore. A little bit of a screen freeze there. But nothing doing. Yeah, look how much Thibaut gains out of that hairpin, just with the fact that he's got more ERS, because he just burns it out of the hairpin, and Robert can't really do anything about it. Yeah, look at the Sauber with half a front wing there, and he's going to be coming into the pit lane. We'll see if he falls behind Novaleska, because it was very similar crashes. As we go through turn 1 for these drivers. Robert's very close to the back of Thibaut. He might be close enough to make a move here. Down towards turn 5. Or turn 6, I should say. Not close enough for the Red Bull driver, and he must be so frustrated in that car. Mitch, very close to the back of Lasse Rasmussen. Will he go for a move into the hairpin? No, not close enough to the back of the Mercedes. It looks so infuriating for the drivers to try and overtake, because you get close and dirty air tells you no. So as they go through, Mitch looking very, very, very loose going out of the corner, and that's just going to be overheating his tyres and overwearing his tyres. It is not good for Mitch. And oh, just look at it, it looks so loose out of some of these bends as he goes down towards the hairpin. And he's quite close to the back of Lasse, but he's not close enough for the Ferrari driver. And around the final bend, is Mitch close enough to the back of the Mercedes? He is. He's going to go for the move here. Down towards turn 1. Mitch Snape down the inside into turn 1. Then millimeters from contact. There is contact. Down the inside goes Mitch as the Mercedes goes wide. And that will allow McSweeney to have a look on the Mercedes down towards turn 5. But he's not going to make that move on the Mercedes car. The 2 Mercedes powered cars, or 3 Mercedes powered cars in this battle, fighting tooth and nail. And Ross Turner is looking quite close to the back of McSweeney as Lasse goes for the move into turn 8. Goes for the move, but Mitch with the switchback of dreams down towards turn 7, I believe that is. And he makes that manoeuvre on the Mercedes to keep him behind. And the Mercedes of Lasse Rasmussen is looking quite slow now as Corey McSweeney looks for a move, but nothing doing there. The corner's just too tight to go for the move there. But Corey is just trying to force the Mercedes every which way to try and get past him. And we'll go to the DRS zone, down towards this little 110-degree right-hander here as we go down into the corner, but nothing doing for the McLaren as we go down towards the final chicane now. I don't think he's close enough to make the move. Never mind, he is. He's going to go for it into the final chicane. Corey McSweeney up the inside. There's a little bit of contact. A little bit of contact with the McLaren and the Mercedes. And he get a little bit of oversteer for the McLaren there. So nothing doing for that, the Papaya and Chrome machine. And Ross Turner will be saying a little bit more battling, lads, and I'll be able to get past you. Because there's an all-out brawl for P4 now. And while I've been saying that, Robert Jovanovski has lost DRS. And Jack Cocaine's going to go for the move down Raffles Boulevard into turn 7. He's going to make that move on the Red Bull. But he goes a little bit wide. Jovanovski will use that as a little bit of an advantage. But oh, it's a very, very close to the barriers from Jack. And Jovanovski makes that position on the Alpine. I cut to the Ferrari slightly. Yeah, so that is Jovanovski back into P2. It was just Jack getting it all over the curb, and that bottoms out the Alpine and almost put him on a plight with the barriers. But he's able to keep that position, or not keep that position, keep it out of the barriers. He lost the position, but maybe not for too long, because Jack might be looking up the inside, down in towards the corner, and there's contact with the Red Bull. Jovanovski goes out wide. He's very lucky not to hit the barriers, and Jovanovski is not going to have any of that. This could be handbags out brawling in a minute when he gets DRS now. We'll see what he's doing down towards the final corner, and I think that might be a penalty coming Jack's way, because it was a bit dicey down towards that corner, and I think he wasn't far enough alongside, and obviously the game's contact model was always going to ping them off into, not into the barriers, but very, very close to. But this is an all-out brawl now for P2. Jovanovski, is he close enough to the back of that Alpine? The rear wing is in sight for the Red Bull. Is he going to go for the move down and towards turn 7? He thinks about it, but backs out. He thinks better of it. Does the Red Bull. He would have been going into a very, very tightening gap, and he thought better of it. Last year gets a penalty there. We on board with the McLaren, we saw how wide he went. It was just off the curb, and that was enough to give him a warning there. So obviously he will be ruining that mistake, because you don't get many penalties around here around Singapore, and so that might lose him a few positions, because of this train that is starting to emerge now. We'll see how big the train is. Look at all of them going through there. It is all aboard the Mitch train, as Ross Turner is going to look to go for a move on the McLaren of McSweeney, but he thinks better of it. But Ross might get a little bit of a better exit, as Lassie has a little bit of a loosage coming out the corner, and I think there's battling in front. But I don't think anything's going on, and Jack has stayed in front of Jovanovski there. So we'll wait for the next couple of corners. Is anything happening in this battle for P4? I don't think anything's happening at the moment. Ross going out of the slipstream to maybe look for an inside line, but nothing doing there. So we'll keep an eye on this battle for P2. DRS will be afforded to the Red Bull of Robert Jovanovski. Is Jack going to let him go down towards turn 6? Jack's going to brake latest. There's contact with the two cars. The front right of Robert Jovanovski and the rear left of Jack Cocaine making contact. I think they're equal now in terms of kind of hitting each other. I'm surprised none of them have gone off a track or at least hit any barriers. It's Singapore, you can only make contact here and not hit the barriers. But yeah, no, Jack pretty scot-free there. but he is losing time all the time to Thibaut behind him. And this battle for P6, or P4 even, is getting very, very saucy now because McSweeney is quite close to the back of the Mercedes. Is he close enough to think about a move down towards the chicane? He's gonna have to do it on ERS and slipstream alone, but I think he's got enough of a slipstream to look up the inside of Lasse Rasmussen going into the chicane. He's close enough. There's another bit of contact. It's like deja vu with the Mercedes, and Conor Ahern has spun off in this battle. They go into the pit lane. These two drivers, Mitch and McSweeney, going through that pit lane. But Conor Ahern lit up the rears in the chicane, and he will be ruining that mistake for the. He's left the session. He's just called it a day. He's spun once and called it a day for Conor Ahern. Bit of a, I won't lie, bit of an L mentality from the brother of John Ahern, who, funnily enough, has a similar mentality. So yeah, it seems it runs in the family. Just to DNF when you can't be asked with the Grand Prix. Well, not DNF. He's not DNF, but he's left. So it's essentially the same with how slow the AI are. So Ross Turner very, very close to the back of to the back of the Mercedes of Rasmussen, and he's very, very close to the back of that Silver Arrow. The two Mercedes powered cars doing battle here. Is he close enough to make a move into this next corner? He's not, but will he be close enough to the back of the Mercedes to go for a move down towards the final chicane? He is definitely not. You cannot gain that much with DRS into the final chicane, so they will be lying astern as they were. I think as they enter the pit lane. No, they're not pitting, so yeah, they will stay out for another lap, and Lasse Rasmussen will take P2 of this Grand Prix. Obviously not representative of wherever he is, but Ross Turner looking so close to the back of the Mercedes, but just not close enough. He's going to be absolutely chomping at the bit to get past the Mercedes, and I think this is his greatest opportunity to do that thing, as he's going to go for the inside run into Raffles Boulevard. He makes that move on the Mercedes. Ross Turner is up into P2 of this Grand Prix, and he's going to try and not go about chasing down Thibaut. He's a bit far out in front, but getting as much time as possible to make that alternate strategy work for the Aston Martin driver. We'll look to Corey McSweeney because he's very, very close to the back of Jack Cocaine. Jack has lost a heap of time here to Robert Jovanovski. I don't know what's gone on there, because they were very, very close to each other, and now they're not. So Jovanovski has either had an absolute heroic middle sector, or Jack's made a mistake somewhere. Oh, speaking of mistakes, Jovanovski almost stuck it in the wall. As and I think, having said that, I think he's going to get DRS from. Oh no, he's not. But that's going to allow Jack to gain back up to him. And Mitch might be very, very close to the back of the Red Bull here, and he will not care as Thibaut is into the pit lane. Will this undercut have worked for Robert Jovanovski? I don't think it will. He's nowhere near close enough for that position to work. He's going to fall back out. He's going. Where's Thibaut going to rejoin the race in? I think it's going to be P5, but it might be quite close with Novaliska here, as he has to take that outside line in turn one, and they join back side by side. Novaliska, he's back behind Thibaut, but this is crucial because Novaliska is this is for position. Well, I say that, I doubt those HUDs are getting to the end of this Grand Prix. So, but Novaliska down the inside thinks better of it. Yeah, I think Hussein is going to have to do another pit stop here. He hits the wall. That's not going to help tyres, as he goes down through the gears and down towards the Singapore sling. Is Mitch close enough to the back of Jovanovski to make a move? Obviously, Mitch and Jack in the same VC at the moment, so Jack might be egging him on to go and fight Jovanovski here, because Mitch's got nothing to lose in this Grand Prix. We'll see. We'll check tyres for the moment. Obviously, Mitch on 2 lap. So this is for position. Mitch is on for position. Strategy has been at play. And down towards the final chicane. Ooh, there was a bit of a... I think one of the cars might have hit the pit wall there. No. As we'll watch Jake Bamford go through that hairpin. And that would be Lasse Rasmussen and Lowry falling back behind the pack there. Lot of fanfare for Novaliska here today in the chat. So definitely a popular driver in amongst the F3 chat. And nothing going on at the moment because Aru. We haven't really talked much about Aru. This is awful luck for Aru. He might be saying something in F3 chat. Don't know if I can invite Jake, so I'm going to have him added. I don't have him added. I can't really add him at the moment because we'll keep an eye on. Where's Jake? Yeah, no, I can because Steam is a bit shit, and for some reason won't let me go onto the actual Steam profiles thing when I'm in the F1 game. So I apologise, Jake. And there's a restart. That's what Connor Owen's saying in chat, but we'll keep an eye on F3 chat. And is anything going on with Jovanovski and Novaliska? I don't think there's much going on. 14 people watching the stream here today, so love that from everyone who's coming to watch the stream as Mitch Snape gets past Vin Hussein down towards turn 7 using DRS to help him get past the Haas car. That Ferrari from the outside, well, from the helicopter cam, looks a lot like the 2016 Ferrari. It is like weirdly close to that car, and everyone will say that car is beautiful because it is. Is Jack close enough to Novaliska to make a move? Yeah, he is. He could make a move down towards. Oh, and Novaliska's. Is he? Yeah, he's disconnected, has Novaliska, so that is very much bad luck for the Haas driver. We'll keep an eye on F3 chat. As Jack has pitted. I did wonder why he went on softs. I think that might have been a bit of a strategy blunder for the Alpine driver, and that's killed any chances he had of winning this Grand Prix. One man who hasn't pit yet is Ross Turner in the Aston Martin. He's still relatively good pace with the rest of the field now. is close enough to make a move. Doesn't look like anyone at the moment, to be fair. I think... Ooh, Mitch almost spun it on with that GRS. God, why does everyone expect me to... Why the one day that I don't have a co-commentator is everyone disconnected? It is. I can't. Right. Okay. Invites and requests. We'll take the time that I literally can't add anyone at the moment, which I'm very sorry about. It is a crying shame, but I can't do anything about it. Always. Mitch is getting very... Oh, there's a little bit of battling here between Lasse Rasmussen and Stephen Trodden. Lasse kind of barges Stephen out the way. But as they go through, that will be Lasse up to P7 for the Mercedes driver. It's going to be Ross Turner leading this Grand Prix. Nothing much going on at the moment, and it's kind of a battle emerging between the AI here. Friend request received, so we'll accept that invite. Where is a certain... Where is he? There he is. Alright, we've invited Connor. Where's Novaliska? Says he's not on at the moment. There he is.
Invite the people that have disconnected.
I'm trying.
They've been gone for like 20 minutes.
I can't add anyone because it doesn't let you do that from when you're in the race.
It does.
No, you can't. I've tried.
There's a way to do it.
And people on Steam should be able to join off other people's Steam, because surely they have friends in this tier. As Novaliska's just lost position. He's joined and immediately lost position to Lowry. Ross Turner gets into the pit lane. Oh, for goodness sake, Connor. Being greedy with, what the fuck is he? It's what I do for this tier. For goodness sake. The production quality of this tier is going down because people can't sort out their internet. For goodness sake, Jack has absolutely fumbled this Grand Prix. I hate to say it, but he has absolutely fumbled here today. And Thibaut is going to make it, or he could make it 3 from 3 here. Literally nothing's going on at the moment. I'm going to give an invite to Novaliska again, just so he gets into the race. I literally... Oh, the things I do for this tier, I'm taking away from my commentary to help this tier get back into the Grand Prix. Right, I think Novaliska's going to join now. Aru's given up. Connor Ahern is still not back. So, yeah, and literally nothing's going on. Ross Turner might be close enough to Stephen Trodden to make a move. As Ross Turner goes up the inside, under braking on Stephen Trodden, and that's the first overtake we have seen in about 3 laps. And that'll be the last overtake we see for another like 10. So, and that'll be the end of the Grand Prix. So, literally nothing going on at the moment. But this is this game in a nutshell. But Connor Ahern is back in the session. And who's not in the session who can be? Connor Ahern, he's back in the session, he's not in his car. Novaliska is back in the Haas car. His username has literally changed. As yeah, Jack's not doing anything at the moment. He's gonna gain a position on the Haas of Stephen Trodden as Ross Turner sets fastest lap. That'll be a 32.6, which is a pretty decent lap time on those mediums. And he'll be trying to chase down the Mercedes of Lasse Rasmussen. But at the moment it is currently Thibaut's race to lose, because he is going to march up to the back of that Sauber. And surely Jake Bamford has to pit again, because those tyres will not do 24 laps. Trust me, I tried last night, it didn't work. Oh, who's that round? Abby Jack Kane. Go on, old Jack. Oh no, not Jack Kane, Connor Ahern. Jack is in P9. He's currently having a bit of a scrap with Lowry, and I think he's just going to march onto the back of that RB. Not make the move at the moment, but down towards turn 1 there might be a little bit of a move here. But I think Ross Turner gets ahead of Lasse Rasmussen on those mediums. And imagine that would have been a turn 1 move. As they go through there. And Lasse Rasmussen down towards... He's gonna overtake Jake Armstrong's AI in the Red Bull. Obviously you don't want to see someone get disconnected and... Oh. Jake joined back. No. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Where is it? Oh, that's Connor Ahern getting all that sorts then. I think that might have been McSweeney. Get a little bit out of sorts as well. There was a yellow flag for Summit. But we'll turn our attention to the lead battle as we go through that little kink in the road. Maybe probably more of a sweeper, if we're honest, and down towards the final chicane. And Thibaut is very, very close to the back of Jake Bamford. We're going to have a battle for the lead now. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gents, because there might be a bit of carnage considering these two's history as we go through turn 1 for the Williams driver. And now down towards turn 5, and as we head down and on to Raffles Boulevard, is Thibaut close enough to make that move on the Sauber? Not quite. Jovanovski waiting patiently behind the 2 cars in front of him. He's gonna hope for a little bit of fighting now. Oof. Very, very close to track limits there for Thibaut. As Stephen Trodden sets fastest lap. That is a bit surprising, considering Stephen Trodden's pace over the last couple of weeks. As we go down towards the Anderson Bridge. Oh, he had to have a few stabs at turning in there, because he was heading for the inside wall. As we go down towards the hairpin here. Literally nothing's going on. And Jay Bamford, has he got DRS? No, but he's going to at the end of this straight, providing he doesn't. Yeah, he's gonna hold fire behind the Mercedes, or the Mercedes AI, down towards the final corner. And we'll just look at the back of the Sauber. That rear wing looks very, very suspect. Like, they have not done well with that livery. That is bad design. As we go through that corner, is Thibaut close enough to the back of the Sauber? He's not, and he's not using ERS. So I think Thibaut's playing the long game here. Surely Jake's tyres go at some point. Because he's been on those tyres for 18 laps, and I know more than most that doesn't work. Is there anything going on behind them? No, literally nothing going on. So we're just gonna have to look at the on-track battle for P1, but it's not really enough track. It's not really a battle because they're just holding station at the moment. So we are literally just watching Formula 1 cars follow each other at the moment. It's like watching Sky Electrics. You just find the speed that they don't go off the track, and at that point you're just watching electricity happen. As we go into the final corner, is Thibaut close enough to make a move? I think he is. I think I'll have to be proved wrong here as we go down the straight. No, never mind. Sky Electrics continues as we go down through turns 1, 2 and 3. Literally nothing going on at the moment. Can someone spice this Grand Prix up? Ross, please. Oh, I think he's close enough to do exactly that. He's very close to the back of McSweeney here. Down towards turn 5, and I think we're going to have an on-track overtake here. Down towards the Raffles Boulevard, and it was kind of it's a DRS pass. But we're clutching at straws for overtakes here. And I think Corey McSweeney kind of just let him go there, but we'll take what we can get. Right, back to Sky Electrics, because that's literally all it is. Oh, never mind. We've had action down at the hairpin, and that would be Conor Ahern. Just he's having fun at least. He's kind of been shafted in this Grand Prix, so he's got to find fun somehow. As we go down towards turn 1, and he's retired from this Grand Prix. We'll keep an eye. I don't know what's happened there, but it's not led to anything. So the one retirement of this Grand Prix didn't lead to a safety car. Good. Oh, we're going to see an overtake. We are going to see an on-track overtake. Thibaut's going to go for the move into turn 1. And I'm making it exciting because... Oh, actually, never mind. This is actually a little bit of a ding-dong here. As Thibaut is going to fight with the Sauber of Jake Bamford. And he's going to take that position off the Sauber. But that was more of a battle than I was expecting it to be. And will Jake come back at the Williams? Hello, we've got a little bit of a battle here. Down towards Raffles Boulevard. He's going to go around the outside to take that position, that round the outside. Turn to the inside. But it's an awful exit from the Sauber. We're looking at the rear of the Sauber. Jovanovski goes up the inside, thinks better of it into the hairpin. We have actually got a battle now for the lead as we go around into the middle sector. And Thibaut not being able to keep that move. He lost a lot of time through turn 1, and now Robert Jovanovski is all over the back of him, but he might have just lost a little bit of time there. We will keep an eye on what's going on with these drivers, but Ross Turner is also making a lot of time here on Mitch Snape. He's gained so much to the back of this. This could even be for maybe a P3 for Ross Turner. He's gaining that much time because all this squabbling might just allow Ross Turner back into this Grand Prix. And but Mitch's got DRS there. We'll keep an eye on this battle because Robert Jovanovski is going around the outside of Thibaut to take that second position, but they're going side by side through the final corner. And Jake Bamford will be saying, yes, please, more of this, lads, as they go down towards turn 1. Oh, very, very close. But Jovanovski gets a penalty for track limits, and that might just be what Thibaut needed, but he's dropped back a lot there. But it's currently Jovanovski who is in P2 and is in the absolute hot seat to take that Grand Prix lead away from Jake Bamford. They're going to go side by side down through Raffles Boulevard, and he's going to take the lead. Is Robert Jovanovski of this Grand Prix. Robert Jovanovski is the leader of the Singapore Grand Prix in F3, and that will be Ross Turner up into P4. And we'll keep an eye on his progress because he is absolutely reeling in those leaders. And this could be a fight for the maybe P3. I doubt he'll get up to the lead with how these leaders are going, but maybe a P3 and how slow. I don't get how Jake is not slow at the moment because his tyres are surely going off as Conor Ahern leads the session. Few bad races for some of these drivers, but as we go round the hairpin, as it's Jake Bamford is going to lose DRS. This might just be what Jovanovski needed, but I say that he's gained with the use of the DRS he had from the previous lap, or previous corner I should say. But he's lost DRS now. Jake Bamford out of DRS, and this might just be what Jovanovski needs because Thibaut is going to go for the move down towards turn 1. Thibaut takes that second place off Jake Bamford, and I think Jake Bamford's just going to lose a bunch of time now. And it's 2.1 seconds back to Ross Turner for Jake Bamford. Ross could get back up into P3 of this Grand Prix. We have got 2.5 laps to go for this GRS F3 Singapore Grand Prix. And it's been a slow burner, but we've got a bit of action down towards the end of this Grand Prix as I think Thibaut might just take it today. But Ross Turner, look at how much Jake is sliding, and Ross is just going to look up the inside. It's going to be absolutely easy. It's like taking candy from a baby. As he goes into the wall, does Jake Bamford. And slipping all over the place. I think he might have a puncture. He does. Jake Bamford's got a puncture. I knew it was going to go at some point. And there it is. That rear left has gone. And it's currently a slow puncture at the moment. But that could delaminate at any second now. As he's just going to lose position to Corey McSweeney as well. And that is awful luck for the Sauber. That he's just going to want to hope that tyre does not delaminate on him. Because that is not what he wants. Oh, he goes right across there. Surprised he hasn't spun with that tyre puncture. And yeah, that's awful luck. And he crosses the pit lane as well. And gets a penalty for his troubles. That's going to be a 10-second penalty, I reckon, for crossing the pit lane entry. Because that is one of the things that GRS is quite strict on, is cutting the pit lane entry and exits, because it can be quite dangerous sometimes. And he's going to get those tyres off, and it's awful luck for the Sauber. He tried his best to get to the end of the Grand Prix, but that tyre was always going to go on him, I reckon. So he's down into P10. The man who started on pole is now down into P10. And Jovanovski takes the provisional lead of this Grand Prix. But it looks like unless anything too crazy happens, that he is going to lose. He's going to lose the lead of this race to Thibaut when penalties get applied. And he might lose position to Ross Turner in the Aston Martin if Ross can keep up his pace at the moment. Because he is very, very quick at the moment, is the Aston Martin. He's just going to want to chase down that lead. He might even... He has an outside chance at getting Thibaut here, but I doubt he's close enough. Yeah, he's like 2.2 seconds back, so... I think we're looking at another Thibaut win. It'd be 3 in a row for Thibaut, I think. As far as I'm aware. As we go to the final lap of this Grand Prix. And unless anything else is happening, Jake Bamford is going to overtake Stephen Trodden. As I was saying that, Stephen loses position to the soft shod Jake Bamford here. I think Jake's going to go for a fastest lap attempt, and getting past the Haas was the most paramount thing to do for the Sauber. As we look to... Oh, there's a little bit of fighting between Mitch Snape and Corey McSweeney for that 4th place, and it's Corey who takes that position off of the Ferrari. And Mitch has kind of been caught napping there when it comes to the thing. As Thibaut is he's going to go around the final. He's going to go around the final sector here. Ooh, he goes a little bit wide. Ross Turner, one more lap, and I reckon Ross Turner would have got it. But just not enough laps as we go around the final couple of corners. Jack Cocaine, I think, might go for a move here, so we'll keep an eye on what he's doing from there. But it's going to be Thibaut. 3 in a row for Thibaut here today. He wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Ross Turner gets P2, and that's Jovanovski getting P3. We'll keep an eye on Jack Cocaine because he's so close to the back of Lasse Rasmussen. It's not going to matter because Jack doesn't have that penalty. Jack into P6, but it could have been so much more for the Alpine driver. Lasse Rasmussen in P7. Lowry's going to come round the final corner for, I think, a season best of P8. And that will be Jake Bamford. Pole to 9th. It's an awful race by his standards for Jake Bamford. Stephen Trodden takes the final top 10 position. Novaliska, after the disconnect, started P2. He will finish P11. And he will be our final finisher on the lead lap. So yes, Thibaut once again takes that Grand Prix victory. And it's a very familiar sight here. So yes, we have a Robert Jovanovski, Ross Turner, and Thibaut podium for you today. And we'll just get the race director for you. Incidents. Not too much incidents, to be fair, considering it's Singapore. Is there any contact on lap 1? Yeah. So yeah, see if we can get any interviews in. we shall try to get some interviewees in. We shall see if there's anyone else for interviews. I doubt there is, so we'll just start. We'll start with Robert, and I just need to double check we finished. Just give me a quick second because it has slipped my mind. Yes, Robert. P3 for you today. Obviously, could have been a little bit more, but I'm sure you'll take a P3. How are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's my second podium overall. I think it could have been P1, but I got one unlucky warning on Inter 1 when I overtook Thibaut. So that's a bit unfortunate, but I think overall the race was very good. I tried to make undercut on Thibaut, but I went into the pits very carefully, so I lost probably like 3 seconds there. So yeah, I had to catch up the Alpine then. So I was pushing almost the whole race. So overall, I think very good race.
Very, very nice, and obviously with the Mystery GP, is there any tracks that will be up for the Mystery GP that you're good at? Maybe you want.
Pretty much any track apart from Abu Dhabi and I think yeah, I forgot the second one, but I don't want Abu Dhabi because it's very slippery track, so yeah, I can't drive it.
I think I second that opinion there. It is not the greatest of tracks, but yeah, that will be everything. F3 is done for another week. Another good week of racing action. Obviously not as many safety cars, or no safety cars, which is weird around Singapore, but thanks for everyone who came in and tuned in to watch the GRS action. We've got Mystery GP next week. Obviously we'll be here on Wednesdays, and obviously F2 on Monday, F1 on Tuesday. But thank you very much for watching, and have a good day, and good